Welcome back to He's House, where we're doing a little bit of everything all the time, and it usually turns out right. This time, we smoked some beef tenderloin, and then brought it in, seared it in a cast iron pan with some butter, have some vegetables, some fresh basil, and some Belgian endive. So stick around in this video and watch how we make it. Seems to be getting a little smoky in here, so might as well grill out some steaks. You saw what we're eating tonight. These are the steaks I just cut up from a whole tenderloin. Got it on sale, and you can't beat half price. We're gonna do some Belgian endives to go with it, and some mushrooms with some shallots and tomatoes. And we're gonna smoke the meat and then finish it off in the cast iron pan with some garlic butter. Should be very delicious. Belgian endives are pretty good. I do them pretty easy way. Cut them in half, keeping them together. Add a little butter, add some water. That might have been a bit much. And I add some brown sugar. Then I just set them down in here. Put a lid on. I'm gonna let that sit for a bit, and then once it cooks for a bit, I'll take the lid off and let all the water come out, and that sugar and butter will just stick right to the endives, and they're delicious. Bodie has enjoyed tonight because Bodie got a lot of scraps. Tonight, one of his favorite nights. I don't give him straight up fat, but I give him fat with meat on it. Tell you what, I just realized this is a bit of catastrophe coming up. We only have a pound and a half of butter left in the house. That is never a good thing. Normally I use a different knife, but this one's dirty from cutting up the meat already. So I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. I don't know if you can hear my kids in the background. Number 5 has a couple neighbor kids over, and they're playing basketball in the basement. I'll cut the watermelon up in a little bit. I'll call you.
No, he's got you though.
He picked out a watermelon to go along with dinner. So I gotta cut that up later, but I gotta get a new cutting board and clean this one first. That was a bit much water. I really put way too much water in there. Should have poured it out, but I already had my butter melting. So I'm going to open this up and just let that water just come out. And now these are going to simmer down for a bit. While that's simmering, I'm going to add a little bit more butter to this. And then we're going to go outside and get the meat on the smoker. Seriously though, that's some beautiful meat. All right, well, let's head outside. Smoker's sitting right about 275. It is looking good. See what this temperature gauge is up here. About 250 right here up the top. So I'm actually gonna set all this stuff right about here. All right, and we're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. I'm not going to actually smoke this for very long because I'm going to sear it in the cast iron pan and the butter inside. I just want a nice smoky flavor to it. All we got left to do is cut up the tomatoes. I got some Roma tomatoes. They're going to go in with the mushrooms right at the very end. I need these mushrooms to get cooked all the way through first. Gonna turn the heat up a little bit. And I don't know about your grocery stores right now, but it was very hard to find ripe tomatoes. I had to dig through this whole batch just to get some that were halfway decent. Yeah, we'll save that. That'll go on right at the very end. This is my hottest burner, so I'm switching it because I want this on low right now. I just want to melt the butter some and get the garlic in it, so it'll get that garlic flavor all throughout the butter. So when we put the steaks in here, it's going to be good. That's probably enough for now. Although, it is harder to smash the garlic with this smaller knife. Once I get these steaks done, I'm going to take this garlic butter and toss it on top of this, and then put this on top of the steaks. It's going to be pretty good. Yeah, so I got this butter right now. It's warm and melted. I have the heat as low as it'll go, and I'll probably actually turn the heat off in a couple minutes because I don't want to cook this garlic at all right now, and I don't want to brown the butter at all right now. I just want the butter. I'm going to add a little bit more butter. I just want the butter and the garlic to meld together. Alright, those mushrooms are looking pretty good right now. And I can smell the shallots starting to cook too much. So I'm going to put these tomatoes in. At this point, I'm just going to put a pinch of salt in, not a lot. And a little bit of pepper. Looks like there's about a quarter teaspoon in my little container here, so that's what I'm going to use. And this is light on the butter. They saute a little bit better if I had more butter in there, but I'm going to dump all this garlic butter on, so I don't want to overdo this on the butter right now. And I am going to turn this cast iron pan off now. It'll retain heat for a little bit. And then this butter should just be, especially once I go to heat it up. I'm going to heat it up pretty hot for the steaks. I lifted one edge of the cast iron pan up right here just to get all the butter onto one side with this garlic. And this is what I was talking about for the endives. As you can see, all the water's gone, and that brown sugar just kind of caramelized a little bit. Oh, it makes them very tasty. And while it's hot, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt. Alright, we got about 10 more minutes till the steak's done enough out there. And then we'll bring them on in here. I need a little bit of red wine, which I don't have open, so I'm going to go grab a bottle. I need a little bit of red wine, which I don't seem to have open right now, so I'm going to go grab a bottle real quick. Alright, I did find a little bit of red wine. I'm going to add this in real quick. There's about a quarter cup. Let this all evaporate out. And then I'm going to turn this down while we wait on the steak to finish. And in the meantime, I better cut this watermelon up before. They might give me a coup and try to take over if I don't get this watermelon to them. Tell you what, our chickens are going to be happy tomorrow though. They're going to pick these things clean. You are going to have to wash your hands first.
Yes! Watermelon, please. Oh,
Well, that happened. The watermelon went fast.
well, Dad have to.
All right, I'm going to go out and check on the steaks. See you in a few minutes. All right, I'm about to go get the steaks out there, so I'm turning this on. And you see another pan, I'm making some pasta for the kids. All right, well, that's the timer, so I'm going to get the steaks off. And I'm going to add a little butter. Alexa, stop timer. A little more butter.
Hi.
And I'm not going to pull the steaks off yet, actually, because I'm going to let this pan heat up, because I'm going to bring them right in and set them right in there. Boys, do you guys like steak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, you know I do.
I know you do. My kids are definitely meat eaters. You're not my kid, you're my neighbor. How often do you eat over here, though? Quite often?
Yeah.
Yeah, you count as my kid. This is looking good, so I'm going to go get the steaks.
60 seconds.
All right, here we go. I cut some thick and some thin because not everybody likes it cooked the same doneness. And having them different sizes allows you to have them all done at the same time and still be the right level of tenderness on the inside for those who want it. Oh man, that smells good. So I'm gonna do these a couple minutes on either side, and then we'll get this plated up. While these are cooking, I'm just gonna get a little bit of the butter and garlic, throw it up on top of each of them. Man, this has such a great smoke smell to it right now. And that smoke smell and flavoring is gonna get it all in this butter. And then when I put the butter on top of the vegetables, oh, it's gonna be delicious. This has been about 2 minutes, so I'm going to flip it over. And really, this timing all depends on how you like it. I like mine, well, I like it rare. Some other people in my family, they like it a little more medium. That's fine. You can eat steak however you want to eat it, as long as it's not well done. Just picking out some of this garlic right now and tossing it in here. I'm going to do the same thing. Get some of this butter out. Pour it on top. So these are pretty much done. I'm going to get my bigger grip. These are pretty looking. I'm going to lightly tint these things just to keep some heat in, but not too much. Oops, that piece fell off. Oh yeah, that's delicious. Alexa, stop timer. All right, we're going to let these rest while the pasta boils, which will be about 10 minutes. I'm going to dump all this juice. I'm going to leave this on low now and just simmer this a little bit more while the pastas are boiling. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. It says 10 to 13, but I like my pasta to have some bite to it. I don't like to get all smushy. That's gross. So I usually go with the lowest time on the back of these boxes. I'm gonna add a little more salt to it. I only added a small pinch earlier, but there's not a lot of salt on the steak, and there's no salt in the butter. Actually, I think I'm gonna add some basil. Get some space on here to cut. This basil plant, I've been gingerly caring for all winter. It's done pretty well in here. It's starting to die out though. But man, it's gave us a lot of basil all winter. It came out of my aquaponics and I brought it inside. But I'm getting ready to restart my aquaponics, which means I'm gonna load it back up with basil. And when basil's in season, we eat a ton of basil. Number 5, he'll actually just walk out to the chicken coop and open up the little flap on the aquaponics and just pick basil to eat as a snack. All right, I'm gonna turn it all the way down to low now. And then add a little bit more pepper. Make sure I get that basil mixed all the way through it. All right, we'll come back in about 7 minutes because that's how much time my pasta has left. We'll get this plated and we're gonna enjoy a great dinner together. So stick around for a few more minutes. All right. Well, that pasta's finishing up. I'm gonna thinly slice this up a little bit, just so it's ready to go. Sneak a piece out of the middle, nobody will care. Oh man, that's pretty tasty. I'm gonna turn this down. Actually, I'm gonna turn it all the way off. Oh yeah, adding that basil is perfect. I got all this cut up now. I cut it in chunks for everybody else. That way they don't have to use knives. And this is just some large flake sea salt I'm gonna put on top of here. That is gonna be good. All right, let's get this plated up. And here you go, some beef tenderloin with some vegetables and a Belgian endive on top of some pasta. It's a great meal. I'm looking forward to it. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of butter. That's really good. I got to get back to eating. So thanks for stopping into He's House, where the food is always fresh. The back deck is always open. And, oh man, it is smoker season. So I'll see you all around the back deck. Bye now.